right, we're going to do some sit stays with Louie number 2. Calling him number 2 because we do have a Louie number 1 on the group. You may get confused and come up. Let's see how it goes. So we got Louie number 2 on e-collar. He's been trained on a manual training collar before this, and he gets the e-collar pretty well now as far as let's go and sit. So now we're going to have him do off-leash days outside with the daycare group who he's all very good friends with. Louie, let's go. Good boy. Louie, sit. Sit. No, Louie, let's go. Sit. Louie, let's go. Louie, let's go. Go. Louie, let's go. Come on, Louie. Come on. Let's go. No, Louie, let's go. Sit. Good boy. Sometimes Louie likes to blow me off. Oh, Louie. Sometimes you do. So now we're going to do some 1-minute sits. I'm just going to count off in my head. Good boy, Louie. So we're just doing the circle. Good boy. As large as we can now. Louie, let's go. Louie, let's go. Good boy. Louie, sit. Good boy. So just so you know, let's go just means comes towards me. And Louie's on very low, which is why he felt comfortable to blow me off. Go. But we don't want to blast our dog at this point or any point that's not an emergency. We just want them to know the dial can go up. And his buddies are playing around, which has gotten a little distracted. Number 1. There you are. Good boy. camera. Bandit, Cujo, let's go. And he didn't race after him, so that's been the goal of this, to start that automatic go forward towards dog, and then we can bring it into a closer scenario with strange dogs and see how that goes safely, of course, and in controlled circumstances. And Louie probably, we're going to go to the beach today, but Louie's probably not going to be technically off the beach today on the beach. And hopefully there are some dogs out. People are tending to flee York right now because it's getting a little cold. Going to their summer places. Good boy is not the break word. Okay is, I'm just seeing how much time we were doing that for, to schedule the rest of Louie's training. So only 8 minutes, part of it me talking. So he banged out those 4 sit stays. So I want to do a few more minutes on that. So I'm going to try to make as big a circle as I can in the side yard right there. Maybe I'll bring this closer. We won't be so far away on camera. That's Brody coming into view. You might see him play with his favorite toy over there, the big large tire. Get this a little bit closer. Louie, let's go. Good boy, Louie. Let's go. Good boy, good boy. Okay, come here. There's Brody playing with his tire. Sit. Okay. Don't feel bad for Louie. Louie gets to play with everyone all day long. Come on, Louie, let's go. Good job, Bandit. Let's go. Louie, let's go. Reset. Bandit, let's go. Bandit, let's go. he's hearing me give the other dogs commands and thinking, ah, sit, thinking it's for him, so we're going to have to go 4 in a row. Sit. Good boy, Louie. Okay, Louie, let's go. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Up. Sit. That's what you were doing last night, huh? No. Good boy. Okay, let's go. So, even though he breaks, he's trying, so I tell him he's a good boy. Louie, let's go. Sit. I know he's trying because he didn't move forward from that position. He was thinking about it. And then he decided not to. That's a learning moment. So I'm going to keep my eye on his bum so that I can hopefully catch him and save the command so that we can get our 4 in a row. Good boy. So that would be 1. I'll go for another big circle. Louie, let's go. Louie, sit. Louie, let's go. You, yes, let's go, Louie. Good boy, good boy. Sit. Well, you can clearly sit him from afar. That's 2. I might have lost track of the count in there because I was daydreaming too. Louie, let's go. Good boy. Louie, sit. Now, he's not really had a correction since the first time when he wouldn't let go. Let go. Let's go. Sit. Louie, okay. Actually, I should correct that last statement. You got verbal corrections. You didn't get any electronic collar corrections. or any manual collar corrections because there's no leash attached to them, obviously. Let's go. But we did so much work up front with the manual collar that just like with that collar, very few corrections are needed now. But also, if he's trying to figure it out, like I mentioned, you know, I'll give him a pass and give him time to process what he's doing. Maybe we can go more Louie if we pull it off. Let's go. Little Louie. You should just call him Little. Little Louie. Oh, there you are. Saw the dogs looking that way. I didn't want him to have wandered off. Louie, let's go. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Let's pull this off, Louie. Lucy-Loo. Lucy, let's go. Good boy. Good Louie. Louie, okay. Louie, let's go. Let's go, Louie. Boy. So, training is very much a team effort. I have responsibilities. He's not a wind-up toy. He's a living species, different than myself, and we communicate in different ways. So I have to keep my actions, my body movements, some detailed stuff consistent every time. So I'm giving him a consistent message because he doesn't understand the English words that come out of my mouth. I'm making them a bridge for him that they mean, you know, with rewards and corrections, it starts to become consistent to them what they mean. And rewards don't have to be food, and corrections don't need to be harsh. Like I said, a verbal, like a can be a correction. A correction is just something that's changing, something that's being done wrong, and encouraging it to be done the right way, basically. A reward is something the dog gets in return for certain rules having to be followed, basically. Like being outside, like being with his friends, like playing, like catching the ball. It can be food. I use food very limited, like I was having a hard time getting him to get to the place, so I did break out some food for the send to the place. I might have to do that in a moment. We do that because I'm going to change what the place area is to him. So don't forget, there's a whole lot that goes into the training process that you'll need to know and understand, at least at a rudimentary level, to do this at home. I'm talking to the owners there, not the general public. General public shouldn't do this unless they know what they're doing, especially on the e-collar, and have someone helping them with the plan. We've all been there. All right, so about 30 minutes to get the last. So the first stays with the smaller circles took about 8 minutes, and part of that was me talking. And the second part took 19 minutes. We had some breaks. We had me telling some dogs to do some things with threw Louie off. So I try to make it clear that when I'm looking at them, that's when I'm giving the command. I used to do names. I still will do names sometimes, but that takes actually, I think, longer to teach them. That's not your name. Plus, we have a dog. We have one dog here with Louie's name. Unhelpful. And then we have a Lucy, which sounds like Louie. She's the gray pit bull, gray American Staffordshire mix, most likely. All right, so now we're going to try to do some places for Louie. And I think I'll grab the step that I used first, and then we're going to go towards those white lawn chairs. Those are what they are usually used for. No, that's not for you. That's for someone else, huh, Louie? So, we got the step. We got the treats. I might have to put more treats in there. When I'm working outside, I need something raised a little bit that feels different than the ground. This one, I like this step because of that. It's also a little bit harder because it's rectangular. And then the lounge chair is going to be harder still because he hasn't been on something that elevated or that material. Both of these are going to be hard for Louie. Louie, okay. Okay. Stand it. Get on. All of you get. Get. Come on. Lucy off. Louie off. You, Louie off. Come on. Lucy off. No, Lucy. Okay, let's go. Come on. Sit. Thank you. Stay. Louie, sit. No. Oh, no, it's not you that's getting in trouble. Very confusing. Leave it. I should become disinterested in this momentarily. Lucy's been trained that this is a stay, and I'm not sure who else, if anyone has. Louie has not. Louie has the least training. He comes in with his sister who was training with us, so we just put on enough training for him to be easily managed in daycare by not running off. Oh. Louie, let's go. I know which Louie, huh? Louie. Louie, place. All right. So if he gets confused, I'm going to step over it just like I did when we first did stay. Place. Louie, let's go. Might have to get the leash for this. Let's go, Louie. Louie, let's go. Wait. No. Let's go, Louie. Come on. Let's go. Place. Come on. Louie, place. Not you, the other Louie. Come on, Louie. Good boy, good boy. Come on. Do it. Place. No. Come on, Louie. Good. No. Louie, place. Louie, place. Good boy. Come on. Good. Yeah, Louie, come on. Louie, not you. Come on, Louie. Ignore him. Louie. Good. Good place. Good. Come on. Good. Okay. We're going to need to get him the leash to...